possible in my experience. So ideally, vibe coding with Nillion could be the same.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I know that's something that would help a lot of people build something really cool. Because typically, when someone's vibe coding, or at least the target demographic for vibe coding, is someone who has no developer experience and just is
Hmm.
familiar with like a chat GPT interface. So yeah, I mean that would be crazy helpful for me personally.
Yeah, so let's see if we can do something like that. And I think it'll be a simpler app than the 75 hard app for today's session, but maybe it'll get something where that you guys could like spin up a game or an app a lot quicker and it's already connected to Nillion.
Love it. Steph 11, which has the same name as you, they asked, could you give a quick 30-second recap of the last session and where we are picking up today?
Yeah, completely. So the last session, I started it by having this idea about creating a 75 hard app, which is kind of like a habit tracking app. And the idea was that I could track my own fitness journey since I've been kind of like getting more into fitness and biohacking kind of because of Andrew Johnson and Andrew Huberman, all of the Andrews really. Just I see more and more of that on Netflix and things. And so I've gotten curious about it and wanted to track my own habits and then privately store kind of like selfies to measure progress. And so that app ended up being a little too ambitious to vibe code or do in 1 to 10 shots. So I'm kind of reframing the problem and trying to come up with a way to do it in just a few prompts, to build in just a few prompts, because I think once we refine those build prompts, it'll be easier to vibe code something more complex. So I think today we'll try to vibe code a smaller app and see if in doing that, we'll be able to vibe code a different, bigger app next week.
Let's do it. That sounds amazing.
Okay, cool. I'm going to share my screen and I think we're going to take a different approach than what we did on Monday, just having all of that in mind. So I'll start here. Okay, can you see my Twitter?
Yes.
Awesome. So first I'll show you kind of what inspired me thinking about this. It was literally something that Tom tweeted saying that developer experience and AI experience are starting to blend. And so today I want to experiment with this. The ultimate goal being to create some type of quick start for developers and non-developers to give you all a prompt so that we can build something in 1 to 2 prompts with Nillion. And so I figured that we could go back to the same product we were using before. So if you go to our docs and you go to build, the current thing that we're going to build with is Secret Vault, which is basically just a database that you can use to store any type of data in and keep some of it private. And so the quick start currently takes about 15 to 30 minutes for someone to get through, and you have to follow all of these steps to set up. And it just creates kind of a backend for you. But my goal is to create a second quick start that you can all plug into V0 or similar LLM coding platform to create a working app. And so I think to do that, the first thing we'll do is figure out what the schema will look like and what the app will look like. Since there are about 20 people here, maybe it would be fun to create like some type of maybe guest book or something to show that everybody was here during vibe coding. So I think what we'll do is set up a secret vault where you can all put in your name and maybe like, I mean, I don't want to do years in Web3, but maybe you could add something that you know about Nillion and we'll show it all in one UI. So to do that, let's start by creating a schema. This is the Schema Tools app that I worked on last week. So this schema is just going to be, we'll call it Vibe Coding Friends. And so we'll fill this with all of your names and maybe also a say anything memo, and you can write anything in this memo and it'll appear on our app. So this database will store your names and a memo that's basically like anything that you want to say. So now I have this schema. It looks like this. It's got name and memo. So an example object that we would send to the Secret Vault database would look like this. I'm just going to save this so that I've got it inside of my cursor. So this is what we worked on last time. It was like all of the workout data that we were planning to track. But I'm just going to call this one friends.json so that I remember we're storing everybody's name and a memo. So I'll use the schema and just upload it to Secret Vault. So this is what anyone building an app would have to do first. This is like the amount of creation. You would have to validate and upload the schema so that it exists in a database, and then you would have to know the schema ID so that you know where to go to actually do stuff. So I'm just going to copy this into my editor so that I have this as well. So this is what the schema looks like, and this is what the ID of it is. So now I'm going to go into collections and check out that schema, which is just vibe coding friends. And there's no records in this yet. But let's see, an example record would just look like this. So now I want to see if we can actually like one shot to create an app with this. I think that this should be relatively easy if I give the V0 or like the vibe coding platform enough examples. And this is kind of where we left off last time. Like, could we create an app if we had enough of the interaction examples that V0 would know what to do? So I'm going to ask it to build, let's build a guestbook style app where people can sign the book saying their name and a memo. And I guess we'll say let's build a Next.js app, because V0 does Next.js apps, but I just want it to understand that even though we're giving it some backend code, it should do something that's connected to Nillion. So in order to give it this example of what writing data looks like, I'm going to go back to the quick start and look at the code that we provide for developers, because I think if we modify this code, we'll be able to give the LLM enough that it'll know how to actually work with this. So I'm just going to copy this file back into here. Okay, so we need to add our own schema ID. That's the first thing we should probably do. Let's see, which was this. And then I want it to have org config, so I'm just going to grab that from what's in the quick start. So I'll grab this. And then the other thing that's different is instead of Web3 experience data, it's just going to be the data that we have that we're putting into the collection. So if we go back to this, here was an example of data. So let me give it some different data based on our example. We don't have to add the ID. So I'll add my name, Steph, and the memo will just be like, hi from the stream. And maybe we'll add a second record and it can be Tom. And I'll just write, Tom is in Taipei. Because Tom is actually in Taipei for ETH Global, which is a hackathon there. So maybe that would be his memo. So I'm cautiously optimistic that maybe this is enough to give it so that it could actually read and write. But let's see if we
you
could do this in one shot.
are you typing something?
Yes, can you see my screen?
We can see the example record.
Oh, the example record. Shoot. There was one more thing that I was showing. Let's see. Can you see this now, which is the cursor screen?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, awesome. So I was just grabbing things from my browser and putting them into this code editor so that I can create all of the code that I'm going to see if I can give the prompt. And basically what this is doing is taking the org config, which is just things about the different nodes in Secret Vault, which is information that we have from the current quick start, and I added my own schema ID, which is where we have the nildb code, and then I'm adding 2 example records, myself and Tom, so that hopefully V0 understands this is how you add data and then this is how you read data. And so I think if I have all of this, I can go back to V0 where I'm writing the prompt. Can you see what can I help you ship?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so I have told it so far that we want to build a guestbook style app where people can sign their name in a memo. I'm saying we also want to create a backend or API in the app that connects to Nillion Secret Vault. Here's an example of what reading and writing data looks like. And then I'll say the app should use this style of code to post to Secret Vault and read from Secret Vault. Okay, so this is an attempt at one-shotting. We'll see if it actually works, but I'm wondering if we have enough information, since this is an easier app, to ship something in one shot. This might be a flop. Let's see. Okay, so it's doing something. And it understands the API routes. So that is setting up the backend that could interact with Secret Vault. And then if this is successful in one shot from the UI, we should be able to post records to our backend, which is Secret Vault. But let's see. This all looks pretty promising. And if we have this structure that works in one shot, we could try to do something slightly more complex, or you all could try it directly on your machine. Nice. But maybe I'm being too optimistic. Okay, so we have a guest book. That looks good. I'm going to sign my name. So nothing should actually be in the vault just yet. Which is accurate. So Steph, please work.
Begging to the code gods.
Okay, it says that it's been added. I don't see any recent entries. Maybe we need to refresh here. Come on. Oh, this is positive.
Okay.
And then let's check the Secret Vault to see if something was actually stored. Oh, wow. Okay, so actually, one-shotting seems to have worked in this situation. Let me deploy this and you can all try it and see if you can add your entry to the guest book.
Hell yeah.
That's exciting.
That was a beautiful one shot.
Yeah, actually, that was a surprisingly good one shot. I'm a little scared. Like, what's not working here?
Something's gonna break the moment one of us tries it, isn't it?
Maybe, but maybe not.
That would be awesome if not.
Yeah, so it's deploying, so you should all be able to try it in a second. But, let me see what I actually said in that one shot, because now I'm curious what worked today versus yesterday. Maybe it's the amount of information and the example that has the actual code, which is interesting.
I will tell you, your one-shot prompt is way more detailed than any prompt I've ever done. So that helps.
That does help. Okay, it's deploying, so you can all try it. I'm gonna try something where I add a record from the back end and see if if it still appears in the front end.
Send me the link in Slack, and then I will send it in the Discord because I have to whitelist the link.
Okay. Oh, cool. So it is actually hooked up, which is good. You can post from the back end or the front end. But this is making me more bullish on the one shot if we have better prompt examples. I don't know why it's taking so long to deploy.
One thing has to break, at least one.
I know, yeah, exactly. Deploying.
How's the internet where you're at?
I think it's good. I wonder why it's taking so long.
Steph, do I see MetaMask in your extensions bar? What is that?
Is MetaMask no longer a cool wallet extension to use? I still use MetaMask.
It's cursed.
Oh no.
You gotta upgrade to Rabby Wallet. Your life will change forever.
Rabby Wallet? What's Rabby Wallet?
It's made by the DBank team, and it's like just infinitely better than MetaMask in every way. It'll tell you all the details about your transactions. It'll tell you your entire portfolio balance. It'll tell you if you're signing like a contract that's suspicious. But yeah, it's love it. I love Rabby.
That's cool. Okay.
Oh, I think we're live.
I think we are. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second and go to Slack.
That internet question was not targeted at you, Mascara Chico. I'll tell you what, I had a call with Steph yesterday, and I literally had to call her from my phone because my internet was so bad. So Oof. It's not just you. All right, let's see if this link will work. It did. All right, the link is in the chat. Fill out the guest book if you're here. Also, if you're here, if you're here, I would add your Discord username and your EVM wallet address.
For absolutely no reason at all.
For no reason at all. But I would include those two details in your entry.
So mine would be
This is cool. I cannot believe that you one-shot at this. Like, it works.
Honestly, I can't believe it either, but I think understanding what went wrong on Monday gives me more context. And so knowing that we can one-shot this, I think the next thing that oh wow, look at all these coming in. I'm inside the blind computer. Whoop whoop. Cool.
So all of these entries they're in the NilDB right now.
They are, and you can see them in here. So these are in the blind computer.
That is insane. This is some people's first time probably interacting with the blind computer. Who in here is this your first time interacting with the blind computer? Yes, your EVM wallet. So it'll start with like 0x something something.
Nice.
True, Zainrot was the original vibe coding masterpiece.
Completely. Now I'm kind of thinking, this is guest book. but we could even have chat inside of the blind computer. So instead of writing your entry, you sign in with your name, and then your name is posted each time and your message. So we could almost have like private Discord chat.
Let's build it.
That would be cool. Should we try it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to basically do the same thing that I just did, but instead we'll call this one private chat. So username is required, message is required. Maybe we should have timestamp so that messages go in order. Okay. So my new schema has all of these things because each message has to be assigned to a user and go out at a specific time. So this is kind of what someone would use. So I'm just going to save this.
Can you?
Hopefully this one is just as successful.
Is it possible to allow someone to connect their Million wallet to the site to like log in?
Yes. I don't know how successful we'll be vibe coding that part. Let's start with this, and then I'll try to add it as your Nillion wallet so that instead of a username, it would be like wallet address.
That would be cool.
And then they could sign into chat. Let's see.
Dang,
Okay,
guys,
so
we're
this
about
is
to
what
make
it looks like.
We're about to make the Discord irrelevant right now.
I don't know about that. Charlie wouldn't be happy about that.
No, Charlie would flip a lid.
Okay, so this is the new schema ID. Here is the schema for what we're working with. And then let's go to that collection. Okay, so here's our private chat. There's nothing yet. Let's look at an example record. It'll look something like this. So back in cursor. Can you see my cursor?
No, we can just see your
No.
your secret vault.
Okay. How about now? Code editor?
Now, yes.
Okay. For some reason, every time I switch windows, I have to like manually click to share, which is kind of funky, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to go back into the prompt that I used before, and I need to replace the data. So I'm going to remove ID. Username would just be like Steph, message, hello world. I like that it just asked me if I wanted to say hello from the streets. Who does cursor think I am? That's so
Hello
funny.
from the streets.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give it an example message. So that's the first example message. This one can be from Zane. He'll say, I'm rotting. Oh, I'm rotting in the corner, is what Zane will say. It's not suggesting a timestamp, but that's okay. Okay, so the other thing that's changing about this one is the schema ID, which was this. Okay. And this, by the way, is just me grabbing all of the code that I want to give so that it can read and write data in the same way that I did before. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is make sure that I want to copy the prompt that I used before, most of it, so that I can give it the same amount of information and see if it will still work. So I'm just adding, okay. Let's build a Next.js chat style app where people can message in a chat room.
Ooh, Draken had a really good idea in the chat.
Ooh, what was the idea?
A sign-on zero oath. Is it oath? Or
Oh, an OAuth sign-in?
Yeah, an OAuth sign-in. Like you connect your Google, your X account, your Discord, your Telegram to your blind authorization account, and then you can just sign in.
Ooh, that's cool. I like that a lot. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna start from scratch again with a new chat. And this time, can you see my screen? Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Great. So this time we want to build a chat style app so that people can message in a chat room. The messages will have someone's username, message, timestamp. And then I'm going to use pretty much the same prompt that I used before, except for this will have the different data type so that it understands, okay, this is what it is. But I think we might need to give it a little bit more about the user experience. So to start, each person should sign in by stating their username, then any message sent to that user would have
Draken, I bet you could vibe code that yourself.
totally. You know what? I'm going to paste this prompt that I'm using into the Discord in case anyone else wants to try to vibe code with this exact same thing right as after I start having it build. So this is what I'm giving V0. This is like the exact prompt that I'm using to try to make a chat room. And let me post this in Discord. It might be a super long message. I don't know why this is this an ad?
Yeah, you have to hover over it, hit the 3 dots in the corner.
Ooh, my message is too long.
Send it to me on Slack, I can paste it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I unfortunately pay for Discord Premium, so.
Maybe I just need to pay for Discord Premium.
It's alright. You get some emotes, some like it's not really worth it, to be honest.
No?
No, unless you're like a Discord power user, like you're locked in the trenches. Oh, I got blocked.
Okay, so this was also a one-shot prompt. I'm gonna deploy it as is, just because it takes a minute. But let's see if the preview works for me. Okay, so my username is Steph0, because I know we also have a Steph11. So I'm joining the chat. Looks like nothing is happening when I join chat. Oh, wait. Failed to post data.
I sent the code in the chat if anyone wants to use it, but it appears it might not be one-shotting.
Yeah, the one-shot doesn't seem to have worked. Let's see why. Let me look at the code first to see. Just so you know, the sign-in shouldn't... So I find that all of these LLMs are pretty good at doing kind of base use cases similar to our guest book. But then as soon as you add other interactions or like user experiences, like the sign-in that we just tried to add, it starts to get very confused because it's almost like too complex. So those types of things do need kind of like multiple messages or can't be one shot from my experience. Let's see.
Fellow asks.
Okay, so apparently it already works as described.
Fellow asks, can you run this with VS Code?
VS Code, you could write the code in VS Code, but the thing that VS Code doesn't do automatically is serve the code so that you can test it on the fly. If you're using something like React or Next.js, you can run a version locally, but it doesn't auto deploy in a way that you could share with other people, which is why I kind of like using something like V0. But I'm also new to V0, so there's probably other tools that do this as well. Let me just see if any records are being posted here. Okay, so it seems like something's being posted, but there's also a small bug, which I don't fully understand. So something is partially working in our chat room, but then something is also not working. So something is going wrong with maybe the chat app also is a tiny bit more complex because it's happening in real time. So that could also be something that's adding complexity here. But let's try this and see if this works. Okay, so there's this weird data issue happening in the app where it almost needs to like refresh data. So it has a failed call, but things actually are being posted into the database. So it's not the secret vault fault, it's the app. So this is something that can be fixed, but let me also send you all this link so that you can write some messages and maybe that'll help me debug. Okay, so it's building and then I'll be able to send that new link.
So is there like a max amount of messages that can be sent in this chat, or is it just like these messages will always be here?
These messages will always be here. I don't think we've hit a limit on the amount of data that can be stored inside of Secret Vault. I'd have to look at how much data can be stored. A MongoDB collection. I think it's multiple megabytes. Yeah, so like 16 MBs. And if that is converted into messages, that's probably like hundreds of thousands, if I had to guess.
Okay.
Which is pretty good. But just so you know, all of these messages are somewhat public. Like I can see everything everyone's saying. I don't know exactly who you are, but I'll be able to see like the usernames, timestamps, and messages inside of the database. I could make this more private if I wanted to as the app builder, but just for like simplicity for now, we'll go with this as we try to like fix the UI.
So you can still add privacy on top of this later on then.
Yeah, I can add additional privacy, and currently the only people who would be able to see this are people who know about the app. But I could also add a bunch of like login stuff eventually so that only certain people could log in and then only they would be able to see that data. And eventually we could also add features to Secret Vault that limit permissions of who can see what or who can do what which could even include who can write a message. But I don't think that's currently one-shotable with V0, just because it's a more complex build that would take longer. Let me see if I can get a link to you all so that you can try this version though, and then we'll continue to make it better. But I'm actually excited that we ended up being able to do more than I thought in terms of like one-shotting the original guest book and then also having the next step up, which is a chat room.
Yeah, this
So that's
is really
pretty cool.
I'm excited to fill this with spam.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know why it keeps creating new deployments. Okay, so this is what the link will be, and let me just send it to you on Slack really quick.
Let me whitelist it.
Okay, so I'm back. Let's see, add windows.
All right, I'll put it in the chat and let's see if it's working. Oh, you need to request access to it.
Oh, you do? Let's see. Oh. I think this one you should just be able to use.
Oh, okay.
Let me double check. Yeah, so this one you don't need to request access to.
Okay.
So I just sent it again.
Yes, I'm able to see this one.
Ooh, okay.
Let's
We're
see.
cooking. Ooh, I see something from Joe Mama, John Smith. Whoa.
Okay.
We built a private app. Private chat app.
That's pretty cool. That's really cool. You rebuilt what, 2 things in like 40 minutes? My bank account.
Not only did we do that, but I think you all gave me a bunch of ideas for ways that I can share these prompts with you so that you could create more complex apps. And then like we saw, creating the chat app, anytime you have a slightly more complex developer experience, like having that login, it does get slightly more complex. But that's to be expected because it's just like a bigger app. Okay, so now I want to see if we can easily add a wallet login as the username.
I know you guys are taunting me with the pineapple on pizza thing. It's not funny.
Are you a pineapple on pizza hater?
Yes.
Oh no.
Ugh, it's so gross.
I actually don't have a problem with pineapple on pizza, but for some reason pineapple ham and pizza don't go together for me. Even though I know that's pretty much always why people add pineapple, because it's like a Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah, pineapple, ham, and pizza is even worse. Like how much crypto can we tie into this? Like we could do something stupid like every time you send a message in this chat app, you are assigned, you are given one I don't know, some stupid token, right?
Yeah. I mean, we could even do a check that says you have to hold 1 nil in order to chat.
Ooh,
That could be interesting.
That could
Okay,
be
so
interesting.
what I just asked, and this is, I think, my fourth prompt, is add a login with Kepler, which is how I sign into Nillion currently. So it should have me sign into whatever my account is, and then instead of having a name on the account, like as my username, it should add whatever my address is. So I don't know what this Nillion testnet address. This is a slightly more complex prompt again, so I don't know if we'll be able to do this in one shot, but we'll see.
Draken
Okay.
says to fix the auto scroll in the UI. The infinite scroll to the bottom is weird. Better to scroll messages up.
Oh, I see. It's scrolling up or down instead of up.
I think so.
Maybe I should only show the last 20 messages or something too. I can do that in just 1 second. Let me see if the wallet login that I added worked. Okay, so now the latest prompt changes it so that to log into the chat room, you can either like say your username, which is what we were doing before, or hopefully if it works, connect with your wallet. Let's see. Okay. That's positive. Oh,
No-
shit.
No way.
Let's see. Test? Question mark? Okay, this is a little buggy, but I'm going to check the database and see if it actually logged my wallet.
I see your message.
Oh, you do? Does it say, oh, it looks like, is this my wallet address? Let's see. Okay, so it looks like it's grabbing my Cosmos wallet address, which was, man, I'm still not used to using Kepler. How do I go back? Is it?
Are you trying to select a different
Okay.
wallet entirely?
So it's grabbing my Cosmos address. I actually want it to grab my Nillion address. And so I think that I can change that by just specifying the chain ID, which I think is Nillion1. Let's try it. So back here, instead of chain ID, Cosmos had 4. Let me just double check that our chain ID is Nillion1. So, and in the docs, I'm just looking at our network config. Yeah, it's Nillion1 from mainnet. So this will assume that I have Nillion inside of Kepler, which I do. So I'm just going to update this to be Nillion. And I'll try it again. So I'm just going to refresh this and see if that works. Okay, yeah, this is cool. So it's requesting a connection to Kepler. It's looking for my Nillion wallet. We've still got that funky error. But did you just see a message from my Nillion wallet by any chance?
Not yet. Let me refresh.
Okay.
No, it did not come through.
No. No.
Did it come through for any of you guys? Because it didn't come through for me. Tenek, in case you joined a couple of minutes ago, we are building a chat room that is powered by the NilDB. So essentially, it is a chat room that's entirely in the Nillion network. Oh, Mascara Chico's seeing your message apparently.
Oh, cool.
Oh wait,
Okay, and
it did.
now I'm going to fix that scrolling issue. It did go through?
Yeah, it just took a minute for me to see it.
Okay, so I'm also going to fix that scrolling issue that someone reported. because it's auto scrolling all the way down and showing all messages, it might be less buggy if it just shows the last 20. And then I'll deploy this latest version, and then you guys can refresh, and hopefully it'll let you log in with your Nillion wallet as an option.
Okay, so the Nillion wallet functionality isn't deployed yet, is it?
No, not yet. So I'm still working on that functionality locally, but as soon as I hit deploy, I think you should all be able to see it. So this is what I see currently with that wallet as an option. But once it deploys and completes, you guys can refresh, and then you should see that option. So let me double check and see how that did.
Okay, I see that.
Cool. Yeah, so now it looks like that functionality is live inside of the app.
Okay, this is
We're still hitting weird errors locally, but I don't think I see them when it's deployed in production. But are you able to connect to your Nillion wallet?
Let's see. Sign out. Okay, see a wallet connect feature. Let's try it. Connect Nillion address. I think it's working. I see a couple Nillion addresses in here. Yeah, maybe we could token gate it. Like you need to hold 1 nil to have access. That would be sick.
Okay, should we try it?
Yeah, let's send it.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to add that functionality. After someone logs in with a Nillion wallet, or actually while someone is logging in with a Nillion wallet,
So, Steph, you have to sign out of the chat app, and then once you're signed out, it'll give you an option to connect your wallet.
Oh, I see. Okay. That might be because it already has a username for your user.
Oh, sorry, the other Steph.
Oh. I'm Steph 0 and that's Steph 11.
My bad. That's on me, guys. Sorry.
No worries. Okay, so I'm gonna try to one-shot add that functionality. When someone logs in with a Nillion wallet, check their balance. If someone has more than, let's say more than 0 nil, so that even if you have like point something of a nil,
Ooh, and could you add functionality so that we could reply to each other?
ooh, possibly. That would require a slightly different backend, but let me see if I can do it inside of the app after I do the gating by nil. So I'm gonna say if someone has nil, they can post, but if they don't have any nil, they can see messages, but they can't actually post messages. It's so crazy to me how much V0 or like any of these LLMs do, because this would have been probably an hour of work before having an LLM that will just do it.
Just this code update?
Probably because what's going on in the background is it needs to be like, okay, I need to connect to the wallet and then I need to do a check, which is how much nil does this person have? which is like a second piece of logic to build in. So let's see if the validation actually works. So it's requesting connection. Ooh, for some reason, oh, okay. Does this wallet actually have nil? It does. Okay, so because this had nil in my balance, I am able to, I can post.
Is that testnet or mainnet nil it's looking for?
This is looking for mainnet nil.
Okay, because I noticed the nil on your wallet is testnet nil.
I think I might also have mainnet nil. Oh wait, you're right. I wonder why that is.
I can try to connect a wallet that doesn't have any nil in it, maybe.
I can see if that works for me too. Let me switch my... I probably have nil here too.
Okay.
Oops. Where did it go? Okay, so I'm signing out and I'm going to try to sign in with that other wallet. Oh. For some reason, it's auto adding the same wallet that I used before. I'm not quite sure why.
It's doing that for me too.
Okay, so that's like a UI thing that we could improve. Oops. So there's a bunch of funkiness going on here. And I think this is like one of the sad things about vibe coding. You can get something working on the screen really quick, but it's almost always not going to be perfect in terms of like how it's functioning. So this is just the type of thing where given maybe 1 more hour, we could fix all of the little UX things and make it a much more functional app. But the cool thing is we got something working today that you all can post to, and it's actually working in the back end as well. Like we can see it inside of our database. Let's see how many records we posted. 74. So we sent 74 messages in the span of less than an hour. So I feel like today's vibe coding was pretty successful.
I'd say it was very successful. I mean, I just found like 5 new use cases for Nillion.
I think you need to create a bloopers private chat if you don't have one already. I saw someone say bloop.
Bloopers private chat. Maybe we could have a bloopers private chat for the people that are whitelisted.
Ooh, that's a cool idea.
It's not a bad idea. There are a few people that are whitelisted.
Oh, based on the original guest book. We do have the addresses of everybody who came to the very, very beginning.
We sure do.
Let's see where that was. So maybe that could be an incentive inside of Vibe Coding Friends. We've got, let's see how many people. Oh wow, 30 people. Look at all those. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Well, cool. We only have 3 more minutes, but this went pretty well. So maybe if we wanted to do it next week, you all could suggest apps that you think should be built, and we can see if we can vibe code them in kind of like less than 10 prompts, the same way we did for our Vibe Coding Friends guest book, which is this one, and also our chat app, which was this.
Yeah, I wonder if you can open source the chat app, and maybe someone in the Discord chat could just take this and run with it.
Yeah, I think I can. Let me see. Public? Okay, so I think now that it's public, I can copy the link and I can give it to you on Slack, and then you can share this. And let's see if anyone can remix this using just like continuous prompting to create a super cool chat room experience.
Yeah, hell yeah. I would love to see that.
Okay, cool. Because I think this is a pretty good building block of something that's functionally working, but could be even better with like a ton of cool color updates. Like if you wanted to, you could be like, do this, but make it cooler with red colors. I don't know, like that's a dumb prompt, but someone who doesn't code could probably work off of this and make something that looks really sick.
That sounds like a prompt that I would submit to the LLM 100%.
Okay, so I'm sending you the link to my app on V0 in Slack, so you can share this with everybody. But yeah, let's see if anyone can kind of like work off of this and create something super cool.
Let's go. To the chat, the first 10 people that submitted their wallets onto the guest book, congratulations. You have earned a Bloopers whitelist spot.
Hell yeah.
So if you were one of the first 10 wallets in the guest book, yes, confirmed, you have a Bloopers whitelist spot. So welcome to the club.
And I'll share that list with you as well so that you're able to see. And we have the records in real time. They're inside of the blind computer, so we know who it was. I think the first person was Alvolution.
Alvolution. Oh, weird. I don't see that one on my end.
I think it's on page 3, because I think it was sequential, so like, or page 2 or 3.
Oh, I see it now. I see it now. I'm looking on the actual like Versal app.
Oh, okay.
Awesome. Well, yeah, guys, this is another great session. We literally built 2 applications from scratch within an hour, which is just insane. I'm not a developer, but
Super
I
cool.
know that's pretty crazy, isn't it, Steph?
Yeah, like this would have taken hours before AI. So I'm pretty excited about what we did, and I think we can continue building off of these to bring some of your ideas from Discord to life.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna farm everyone in the chat for more ideas. And we'll bring them to the next vibe coding session.
Awesome. Well, thanks for spending the hour with us, and I think we'll see you next week to do more of this because it was fun.
Yeah, 100%. We're gonna have to make this a weekly thing for sure.
Amazing.
All right, thank you everyone for coming, and we will see you in general. And thank you, Steph, for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
Talk to you soon.
bye everyone.
Bye.